Hey guys, this is Puggles. In light of the recent infamy patch with voting, a lot of people responded to it very negatively and pretty much removed all their content and quit the game, quit voting. So current season, I'm in 118th. I work 50 to 60 hour weeks, so my playtime, especially certain time to vote, can be pretty minimal at times. But lifetime, I am sitting in 10th overall. And try to make a push to climb even higher. So I know a little bit about voting. I'm not saying that everything I have needs to be gospel. I'm not saying that I'm the best. I don't even have a great vote. It's maybe A tier. I wouldn't say it's S tier at all. But I just wanted to provide information, do a playthrough if anyone's new to voting. It's an amazing facet on the server. It is, I think, the closest thing to UO2 with Outlands in general that I've seen. Brings back all the nostalgia, but it's added so much extra dynamic playstyle that keeps it fun and fresh. So my primary build that I use is this one: 120 chivalry, 100 forensic eval, 100 tactics, then anatomy, parrying, healing, fishing, and focus, all 80. I'm sure most people don't expect to see that forensic eval in there. I originally had it with 100 focus and 80 resist, and then I realized the resist wasn't doing much. If I was going to get caught up in a sweep and killed, I was going to die no matter what resist I had. So I tried to make it something more offensive, more damage focused, and I found that I was doing swords and macing instead of my resist, and that was helping me level my codexes while using a harpoon and killing things. 80 focus, 80 fishing, 80 fishing and 80 swords, and I'd be able to level my swords codex while using a fishing weapon. So that was a really good way to level those codexes, and then I finished doing that and was kind of trying to figure it out, and I figured rather than trying to do something like tracking or cartography, which are kind of bugged and don't really help all that much, I went with forensic eval, which gives me a little bit damage boost, but then I also get all this beautiful leather out of it. And I tend to switch to my harvest armor. When I farm harvest leather, I'm using a Variate skinning knife, and I usually pull anywhere between 10 to 15,000 leather and about 1 to 2k colored leather per run. Another build that I used to use, and I consider it more of a glass cannon build, is this 120 arms lore, 120 fishing shiv, and it has no defense, no parry, no resist. This I tend to use for mibbing or fishing spots if I'm just going around to do that. It's really good for that, and I just find with the beefier change to the patch where all the mobs got about 30% more health, I take too much damage in that unless I'm going like void or frost armor. So anyway, that's that. This is the boat I tend to use. Not everyone's going to run it this way. There's no primary one way to do it. I use Explorer. I really love the extra spyglass. I really love the extra tidings, speed, everything like that. I'm running a little bit of wake, a little bit of speed here, and delicious rations. Getting a little bit of speed, and I love how much crew healing, crew hit points I get. The rest of this I think is pretty standard. Special powder, tank, flat cannons, all of that. Crew's nothing special. Again, I mean, I farmed a lot of 10th all time, but my crew is good. I use mostly cannon damage crew. I've got my heroic medic here with a lot more crew healing just to make sure when I use band-aids on my crew, if I switch to my water aspect, I'm healing for about 200 pop. And then I'm leveling another heroic spy just because, again, I like tidings, and I'm just doing a little bit of wake. I don't want to be invisible necessarily, but I'd like to see them before they see me. I could run exceptional powder, get my cannon damage up. I could run destroyer, get my cannon damage up, but I do enough damage, as you'll see, and I keep my wake. It could be a little lower if I run with signal pigeons, smoke bombs on my crew, and my crew supplies, but instead I just really like to have that delicious rations. It's such a good healing. So I'm going to get on the water now. I'm going to put holy armor on. I have aspect for lightning, but I have reduced it down a couple tiers because I don't want to proc too much because I switch my aspects around so often that if I was to do that, I'd end up having to wait even longer. So I'm going to Shiv Gate. Always do this if you can. The reason is it gives you your Sacred Journey buff. I'm going to eject from my house. We're going to launch the boat, jump on, get everything going up and running, pull out my hot bars, close all these extra bars, start. We've got a character to the north of us already, so let's see. He might not want to fight, or we may have a quick fight on our hands. Let me get all my hotbars. I do apologize. You'll see pretty quickly that my screen is a little cluttered. I don't have, a fantastic battle station with 3 monitors, 4 monitors. I play on a 17-inch laptop. That's pretty much the only monitor I have. So, unfortunately, I don't have other screens I can pull this all off to. So, alright, we're going to get going on this guy. Switch to my Fortune Armor. I tend to farm a lot more in Fortune. I love the special rare loot chance. It gives you that 50% chance on a hit to do double damage or 50% increased damage. It gives me extra red line experience and gives my crew, and I'm leveling that heroic spy, gives him extra XP as well. So again, I find aspect on the water is fantastically independent. If I'm running a dungeon to say like going into AK4 or Mouse 4 or something like that, I find if I'm not running a specific build of aspect armor or aspect weapon, you die. Yeah, you can't do it otherwise. If you're running a bard, you're not running lyric. Usually it's like trying to run uphill. You're really up against it. On the water, I don't find that happens at all, whether or not I'm running void armor, fortune armor, lyric, discipline, you name it. I find you can run pretty much any armor and weapon combination. There's some that are a little bit more optimal, but it's not in any way, shape, or form saying that you can't run whatever you want. Whenever I level a new aspect, I usually just throw it on my harpoon, and I find that within 3 or 4 trips, that aspect's already up to tier 6, tier 7, somewhere in that nature. If I'm carrying cores, otherwise, obviously, I have to get off and redo the cores every time I hit a new tier. But especially on this first level or 2, I'll just carry 10 cores, 10 distills on me, and before you know it, you're tier 3 in one run. So just taking down this crew. I haven't seen that carrot following me, so I was either probably docking or just doing fishing spots or something. And what's nice, this is a brand new feature, pretty phenomenal. Good job, Lucius and everyone coding all that and making that happen. I think I am going to end up probably burning through a lot of spyglasses doing this, so I might not put it on continuous because how many spyglasses, how often it's searching. But back to what I was saying about my build for the boat is I run Explorer, and what you'll see pretty quickly is the second I jump from this boat, where I'm getting much less spyglass, to my boat again, when I have my Explorer and all my other spyglass buffs, and my boat already has a high spyglass roll, is I'll be able to see things from not necessarily a mile away, but you'll suddenly see that I'm seeing a lot more of what's around me. And especially, there's less PvP now, it seems, since the Infamy patch, but it's not none. So we're doing that, get a repair off on my guns. I'm going to let that bomb go off, jump over, drop another bomb, get my crew back. My repair went off, and let's just see quickly, that should be enough. Nope, it's not going to be quite enough to sink it, I don't think. But as I sail around the edge of the boat here, one quick cannon fire, and that should... such a tease. Such a tease, alright. No, it's not going to live past one more, so... We'll kill this, and then we'll send it down to this Orc Reaver Galleon down here. So again, I have never made any content really of any type, so bear with me as I probably fumble over a lot of this, but hopefully the information at the end of the day is the important thing, and hopefully that's helpful. So hopefully in the long run it'll be worth it for everyone. So as I approach a boat, usually I hope, I always love these boats that attack me first, because the further away you are from an enemy, the less accuracy it's going to have. Now I'm going to sail away, and there you go. You see it's trying to shoot me again, but because I'm further away, it's going to have less accuracy, and a lot of its cannon shot ends up missing, and that means that I'm taking less damage, and that means I have to repair less. So all in all, that's kind of the goal of what we want to see. I didn't move that much there. Make sure I'm back in Fortune Armor for the XP. And even if you do a little loop like this, it still really helps just minimize a little bit of the damage. I'm going to put target on sails because I really want to just be able to board this guy. It's taking a lot of hull damage already. Alright, let's do one more little... Anything I can do to make it do less damage to me is always ideal. Obviously, I'm in a galley. It's a slow galley. If I was in a carrack or a large, I'd be able to strafe that a lot better. Especially in a large. In a large, you never want to be sitting next to a big boat like that. You always want to be just bobbing and weaving. So you see now that I'm on this boat again, I can see my galley here, and I can see a Ghost Longship 86 tile southwest, but compared to what I was able to see on my boat, it's very minimal. So yeah, I mean, boating is just fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. You know, I go into dungeons periodically, but I end up finding that, you know, if I'm not just going to leave gold behind after about 15-20 minutes of farming, I gotta run either gold out, or I'm overloaded, or I gotta go back and restock, and that's just, you know, not fun. On boating, there's no such thing really as a weight cap. I can always just drop stuff on the hull of my boat. I can just put stuff in my hold, or just drop it right on the deck of my ship, and I never have to worry about how much, how overweight I am. I can just keep dumping stuff. Alright. Switch to harvest, get all this nice leather. Send my crew back over. For some of the newer boaters, you always want to send your crew back pretty quickly. If someone was to say sail up on me and my crew were all on this Orc Reaver ship, they'd be able to instantly board me. If I have no crew or pets on my boat, they can report you right away. So one thing I'm going to do right now is, instead of dropping a bomb, I'm going to start a repair here. So this way I get 2 repairs off. I'm going to go over, drop a bomb, reload my cannons because they need to, and I'll be able to get a second repair off here in the cost of 1 bomb. It does cost an extra boarding rope, but you can buy those from NPCs, so I don't see the waste. And we got some dull hide there, so as you see I have my leather. We got some, actually that was rose hide. That was even nicer. I'm going to go to this Ghost Longship. So yeah, that 100 forensic eval that I run instead of the potential 80 or something really just gives me that access to some of that higher tier loot, some of the high tier leather, which I always like. So we're going to strafe here quickly. These ghost ships I always kind of irritate me. There's a bug involved with the skeletals. If you see the skeletons here, that it basically thinks it's a body that you're trying to loot. And so it can really mess up your item, you know, your item script, or any of your loot scripts can get really badly messed up with that. Try and always just keep my crew healed up a little bit as I'm fighting. Again, with delicious rations, they have more HP, and I tend to heal them for a greater amount. If I switch to water aspect, I end up healing them for somewhere close to 200. Well, I'm not going to heal them for as much now because they just use bad rations on them either way. Strafe, come back in here, do 1 more, and then we're going to board. So the good news, it looks like that carrot's... Oh, they're not going to be able to... No. Carrot doesn't seem to be having any interest in... Either didn't see us or has no interest in chasing us, so we'll be able to hopefully get some good farming now. Alright. Got a little hotkey that runs my... uses Enemy of 1, uses Consecrate Weapon, and uses Scourge. So 3 abilities that I like to activate when I jump onto a boat. So press 1 button and get all that nice extra damage applied to my abilities. So make sure here, Sacred Journey. I have my food buff up. It's always good to check that stuff before you start. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've started farming on the ocean and I have my, you know, boss chain on, or I'll have my wrong build and I start tacking a boat wondering why I'm doing absolutely no damage, and it's because I'm in the completely wrong spec for it. So these, of course. So I might do another round of doing the 2 repair technique just to show it off, but also I just like to keep my boat topped off. Even with people fighting a little bit less, it seems, with this infamy patch, it's still not a 0% chance that someone's just going to start laying into you. I know we did some bosses yesterday. There we go, see? I try and always start in the fortune and open the hull. That way I have that chance of the special rare loot. Then I switch to my harvest and start getting all the leather. We got our first crew contract, which is always nice. So Lutheus has never shared it, and I don't think he ever will. Pretty much flat out, he's told me he's never going to share his formula on what the actual ratio of getting aspect. Let's see, we got some more color over there. He said he's never going to share the coding on what means, what chance you actually have of getting special rare loot, like a ship upgrade or a crew contract. But what I understand is that the bigger the boat, boats have a multiplier, so obviously when you put a crew or something on I said I was going to do 2 upgrades, but I dropped the bomb already, so I guess that means we're just going to sail off. What I was saying is, so the way that it costs more doubloons to install a crew on a ship of the line than on a large ship, and your sync fees are higher, my understanding is that modifier, that 5 times I think for a ship of the line, impacts crew chances as well. So you're more likely to get crew from a ship of the line or a bigger boat than you are a smaller boat, but obviously it takes a lot longer. So I like to have a little bit of tidings. I find that it gives me a not 0% increase in getting an upgrade or a crew. I've done 200k doubloon runs with tidings and gotten no crew, and I've done 50k tidings, 50k doubloon runs, and I've gotten like 6 crew. So it's, at the end of the day, there's no rhyme or reason, but if it gives any increase in a chance, well, what's the harm in that? Am I already out of my sacred journey? Let's see, the last that long. Keep myself up, keep my crew up, cycle around, then wait for that cannon. Come on, boat. There we go. Try and dodge as much of it as we can. Come back in and start blasting away. Alright, it's got no ship cannon left on that side, so I don't need to worry right now about that. Just gonna get one more shot off and move forward. Hit my hotkey, keep my crew going. I think I didn't switch back. I don't think I switched back to Fortune, so I'm going to keep clicking. Just hopefully, once I have that timer from getting the lightning proc, we'll find out. There we go. Okay, so now we're back in Fortune armor. So Fortune's really good. It gives you extra redline XP. A lot of us lost redline when the patch came through that made that tweak. It is what it is. I don't blame them at all. I think they have a very valid point in why they reduced redline. I think some people have managed to get up to 40, 50 redline already on the ocean. Or even probably the best ocean farmer or dungeon farmers were only probably at 10 to 15 redline. So pretty much I think a required balance, even though it obviously hurt me. It brought me from having 33 links unlocked to 32 links. So one less chain for now, but in due time it will come back. We will farm. We will get there. Everything will be back to the way it was at some point. Alright, switch over. So I always try and keep an eye on my weight up here. This one's going to get me pretty full. I'll probably be overweight by the time I get the gold out of the hull. Let me see. It's like 1,700 gold from the hull there. So. Jump back. Okay. If I want to, there's no rhyme or reason. I can just drop that gold right there. And if I get to a dock and I dock at my house or dock at a guild's house, that'll just pop right down at my feet. So there's not really any rhyme or reason. I don't do it too much because obviously if someone sails up on me and they're trying to figure out whether or not they want to fight me and they see piles of 60k gold all over my deck, they're probably going to say, that guy looks pretty juiced, and let's try and sink him. Alright, so we got that repair going. I'm going to go back over, jump there, close this. And then just make sure I get that last click off before... up here, so I'm at 381 because of the amount of weight in leather. I have 3,200 leather and 60, so I'm just going to drop my whole pouch right in there, grab a new trapped pouch, open that up, set that as my loot bag, and keep going. It looks like I got two boats right on top of each other here. Not always fun, but it's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to try and do is when they shoot you, they can't move. But now that it's shot me, it will actually follow me as far as I want it to. So I'm just going to kind of strafing a little bit. Try and pull it further away so I don't end up taking cannon fire from two boats, because that's never fun. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm not right next to it, I'm taking a lot of reduced cannon damage from its cannon shot, because again, it'll have a decreased accuracy the further away I am. So this is only a large, it shouldn't take too long to kill. So I'm using my special powder kegs, and when I go to farm that Tide Caller Galleon here, then I'll probably use... My bone shot should be up in a minute, so I'll probably be able to use that, and then I'll use my icebreaker followed by flat cannons. It's nice to have that combo because it gives me the ability to kind of have two... Well, I might actually... Oh, I was worried I was accidentally going to just do too much damage there and sink that boat. Again, just churning through all the mobs. Some of these boats, I've been pretty lucky. Most of what I've been running into so far this run is I would consider the easy side of the mobs. No demon ships, druid ships, those are always a bit more of a hassle. Demons with that bleed that the blood feasters give, hierarchs on the ossuarian ships are a bit of a hassle. I don't even want to bother waiting for harvest aspect. It's just a smaller boat, so we're just going to get... we still managed to get a pool of dull hide and some copper hide, so not too shabby. I don't think I was actually out of the fray there, so that was our combat repair, which I'd like to keep up. Yeah, I see there, it just came up, so... We used the combat repair, but I have nothing on my spyglass here, so I'm not super worried. As I said, bone shot's now re-up, so just wait for my... shoot my bone shot. Pull off here a little bit. Make sure I get healed. I tend to find I bumble things a little bit more if I'm trying to also talk through it. And I apologize. I will go points without speaking because, frankly, I think like most people, I kind of hate the sound of my own voice. And I'm sure you guys already do as well, so apologies for that as well. And again, hopefully, if I even give one person any information that they find helpful or bring any awareness to Outlands, see, this is annoying because my pouch wasn't like that, so it wasn't seeing my potions. So, all those little tweaks that you gotta kind of always remember. Kill the cultist, then this is the next bigger thing. I usually try and avoid looting their regs just because they make you so much heavier so fast, even though I can just go and drop them all in my hull. I don't find that I need the ranks as much. It's not a priority, so... Alright, there we go. We got another crew. Switch over here. And now that I have the continuous spyglass, I really am amazed by just how much of a difference my Explorer makes. Hopefully I can increase the price of Explorer and start selling some of them, but I mean, I'm seeing things at 109 tiles southwest on that greater carrack down there. Alright, grab these, jump back, do repairs quickly, make sure we stay topped up, reload my cannons. Yolanda took some damage, so let's heal her up. I think actually I should be able to upgrade Raoul here. Alright, so I do one of these, jump back over, drop my bomb while I'm still repairing. I can start sailing off. And we're going to get one more repair on the hull. Stop quickly, fire at the hull. Sink that guy. Switch back to accuracy and continue down here to this pirate carrack. Remind myself to dump all this extra weight. I'm a little OCD sometimes when I like to keep my leather kind of in the line. Sorry. Alright, dodge some of this cannon fire. Come back in. So yeah, as I was saying, I could on the last boat we were boarded, I could see things at 108. I think that probably had a pretty good amount of spyglass on it. I'm still seeing things a little further away from this. One interesting thing, actually, that I realize now is with this recent change, it doesn't show me, when I use my spyglass, what range I can see players versus NPCs at, which is something that was an interesting feature with the way it had been previously. Just use my hotkey there, let's do that. Oh no, I don't have, oh, that's a spyglass on. Thought I didn't have my mellow wheat pipe on. I was a little sad. Alright, so we got this cleared. Open that. Switch to harvest. Oh, we got a carrack northwest of us that just popped up on Spy here, so try and go through this pretty quickly. 56. Alright, we might have a fight here because he is coming right for us. What do we have here? Alright, did not want to fight, and frankly I took a little damage and I don't have my cannons up, so just as a precaution, he's going southwest. We are going to hit low profile and disappear off of his spyglass entirely. If he starts coming back for us, that's usually a sign that he's going to look for a fight, and we will probably accept that fight and start going after him. Where is he going? Maybe he's on this fishing ship of the line. Just in the precaution of trying to do everything here, I'm just gonna try and make sure that if we are going to get in a fight, at this point I don't know if he's calling in reinforcements or if he's just trying to farm. I have no idea, so I'm just going to make sure before I attack anything else that I'm getting as close to prepared fully as I can. We've got him off Spyglass. Let's go do this Ghost Galleon over here. I'll just keep an eye out. I definitely think that was possibly the character we saw when we first launched. Anyway. No harm, no foul. Doesn't seem to want to fight, which is always nice. I'm never afraid to fight, and frankly, I'm sure some of you have seen me on the water or probably taken me down. Usually I will fight tooth and nail. I don't care if I'm surrounded by 6 boats from Mega or whatever alliance. I will continue to try and drop bombs and shoot my cannons until the very last second. If I'm dead or if I'm getting sunk, I will continue trying to reverse board and bomb people to the depths of the ocean, because it's the point, Don't go down with the fight. Some people I know, he's sort of, when they get surrounded, they throw over and just not even bother to fight, not put up a fight. I don't like that. It seems counterindicative. I mean, I have had times once I got surrounded by 2 boats, or attacked by 2 boats, and ended up managing to take both of them out. So you never know what's going to happen. If that person watches this video, they've sworn me to promise me to never disclose what happened in that fight. And I didn't get a recording of it, so. Let's kill everything here quickly. Yeah, secondaries are important. Frankly, low profile is a great one. Sargasso and Sea Change are really good as well. If you think you're in a fight, you drop Sargasso, quickly Sea Change, and if they don't have their Sea Change ready, they cannot move at all. At least buys you time. If you have reinforcements coming to help you out, it gives them time to catch up, or if you're close enough to your dock, it gives you time to hopefully get your ship docked and not lose everything. Alright, took a little bit of damage on that one too. I'm talking and trying to do everything at once and sort of explain things, and wasn't strafing very well, so I'm taking a little bit more damage. We got some bronze hide now, 128 bronze hide. Let's cancel that quickly. Jump here. I always love it when I jam right at the hull, because it makes it just so much easier just to, just start dragging all this away. Nice thing. So some instruments I find end up seemingly weighing more. 2-handed weapons seem to weigh more, so. And then all that meat that I also pick up for anyone who's crafting, someone's trying to level cooking to get that nice benefit. We got a galleon south east of us, so it looks like people are farming this morning. Now that I've got myself kind of right back up, jump back, jump over quickly. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, I hit the buttons. Oh, this galley's on our east side. Again, I'm not worried about a fight, but that's not the purpose of what I'm out here trying to do right now. I'm trying to... Oh, so this will be an interesting one. Druidic Ship of the Line. Let's head there. Where is that? Ship of the Line southwest of us. Why is it taking me? Druids are good boats. The Fungaloids do cast that AoE poison. And that'll give me something to kind of explain a little bit. Is with Festers on demon ships and with the Fungaloids, when you board them, obviously you want to pinpoint those guys. Those are the ones you want to try and kill first. But what's important to know is it's really easy if you're a mage, a little harder as a Dexter. is you want to make sure after you kill everything and before you send your crew back to your boat, you want to make sure that you heal them and cure any poison or any bleeds. You want those to time out. You can't obviously cure a bleed, but you can let it time out. If you don't, when you send them back to your boat, it will put your boat into combat. So you won't have that nice out of combat, clear of the fray repair waiting for you. You will actually be in combat. So it's always a good idea. Just make sure you just take that extra 5-10 seconds on the enemy boat, letting the bleeds tick off, using your bandages to cure your crew before you end up sending them back to board. I learned that one the hard way a few times. And I was like, why am I in my combat repair? Well, because you sent back a crew that was poisoned. Alright, let's go to sales just so that we hopefully don't run out of special powder keg charges before we can get this thing boarded. I'd rather not waste my flat cannons if I don't have to. We've already seen 2 gray boats, so you never know when a fight's going to come and find you. So strafing is nice. It does reduce some of the damage you take. It also, if you manage to dodge those spores, you don't get the poison. And with blood feasters and things, you won't get... let's make sure I activate that. Just heal myself quickly. Just don't want to take too much damage. Also in the wrong aspect again. It's the only problem I have when I change aspects so often. Sometimes I end up doing 2 or 3 boats without changing back to the appropriate aspect for the damage portion. Right. So the Fungaloids are dead. Just kill everything else now. It doesn't really matter. The Druidic Voyager can cast like chain lightning and stuff that hurts you. And somehow it's a mess. Forgot to have my food buff reactivated. So yeah, Druidic Voyagers and those demons, they cast chain lightning sometimes, and it actually does hurt quite a bit. So it's nice to get those casters down fast. I always still feel like casters do more damage to your crew than... Alright, let's see that Fortune Armor helps out there. We got the Ocean Mellow Weed. Not that those are worth anything, frankly. I have a pretty much infinite supply of Ocean Torches if anyone needs one. Not the gilded hip lanterns, I just mean like the regular ocean lanterns, so I get absolute dime a dozen, it seems like. I don't even think you can sell them on a vendor at this point. Rare seed, whatever, I never use them, but I'll take it. Jump back over. I'm going to put my water aspect on if I can. That would give me slightly... 2 reasons. I can get some XP towards my water aspect, and it'll also just increase the amount of crew heals I have. So I see 224 damage of the crew healed in 1 shot. 181. So that's because I have my heroic medic that has that crew healing, plus I have my delicious rations on. It just gives me that little really nice extra bump to my bandages. If I run a second crew healing character, it gives even more. Let's quickly just drop this off because we're pretty close to this other Druidic ship line here. So it looks like it's Druidic ship line day. Let's go back to Fortune. Always be healing. I could use... I have Rally as a backup here, which is really nice, especially if you're like fighting another boat. They've absolutely just decimated your crew. With the amount of crew healing I have, if I pop that, pretty much all my crew are instantly back at full health. Definitely has triggered some people, got them really upset. They thought they had the crew battle won, and suddenly just have full crew again. I'm just going to use Icebreaker on this. I don't want to stick around too long in the same spot, considering this is our second big boat, and we've seen 2 sprays. So yeah, as I said, I work a crazy schedule, usually 50-60 hours a week. I am hoping to continue making these videos. If there's anything people want me to specifically cover, just leave a comment and I will do my best to cover whatever topics that is. Yeah, overall, just the ocean's amazing. I mean, you can farm hours and hours in a dungeon, and pull in 150k in gold, maybe some cores, maybe something else. But compared to what I can pull in one run, I just feel like the ocean's sometimes. I think the best XP. Definitely, I think the best gold. Outside of maybe like T-mapping, running T8s, doing things like that. It's such a profitable venture. And it's unlike any part of UO was. There's nothing, you had voting. I don't remember anything in Ultima Online original being as integrated, as interesting, as dynamic as voting is. So I'm a huge fan of it, and I hope to get other people interested in it as well. Take out the fungaloids first, just because annoying AoE poison they do. Vial ships aren't great, but the slime purchers can only hit one target, so you have less to worry about in the long run. One thing I will mention just about healing, and the healing codex is, if I can find where I put my healing codex here, is this one without borders. It increases your bandage range by 1, 2, or 3 depending on your tier of it, and that, especially on a boat, as you get on these ships of the line and things, just extra 2 tiles where I can heal my crew from is absolutely fascinating, or fantastic. I mean, real fantastic ability to have in there, just because sometimes you're focused really on just trying to sink and kill, and being able to just heal your crew without having to constantly chase them down on a boat, and especially when you get back onto your boat, sometimes they're still moving around. I have to put this over my things. Again, I have a very small computer screen compared to a lot of players. Drop that, and let's get Raul healing water here. This is a precaution, just shoot that. Right, we're not seeing any other boats, gray or otherwise. I should have healed. Alright. And yeah, like I said, and I'll probably repeat things a lot, but hopefully it means it's good information. Unlike anywhere else, I find the ocean extremely build independent. Harpooners, you can run anything. If I want to run cartography, I could. If I want to go fishing up to 120, I could. I really like having parry because just mitigating that damage. Most mobs that you fight, most enemies are going to be melee, or, well, ranged melee essentially, and just being able to deflect a lot of that damage is always really helpful. Alright, this is nice. We got a merchant galley, tradesman ship of the line, so slightly chiller boats, and I'll show you something that I try and do with these boats that I find very helpful. So usually I always just sail up alongside with these boats, and especially fisher boats. If you target a fisher boat like this and you get the right angle, fishing boats don't have cannons, but what they do that's really annoying is they'll throw grenades at you. But a merchant obviously has the cannons. So if I fire from this angle, it's got to turn, and then it will immediately fire. So as soon as it turns, I know that's when I can pull off and just do my little rotation around and try and mitigate some of its damage. We're definitely going to need to get a good heal in on our boat after this one. Yeah, fishermen, you always want to try and avoid that grenades. It does pack a punch. It really does a lot of damage to your hull. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if someone had actually gotten sunk by a fisherman boat just because they weren't watching their hull damage, took too much grenade damage. I'm sure it's had to have happened at least once. I like having a little hotbar up here for all my aspects. some people, again, a lot of people script more than I do. I like to click things because it keeps me engaged. I know a lot of people carry a second, if they're running 2 aspect, kind of like I do. They'll run 2 suits of armor, have a dress macro, and swap between them that way. I don't think I have the patience or the temperament for that, so I do it this way. And not everything I do is optimal. It's just kind of, I'm a creature of habit. It's the way I've been doing it. And no, I don't know why I just activated Void, but essence up here. It's always nice to see. Got a lot of essence. Being able to loot every magic weapon that I fight or find when I'm voting, really good for keeping my essence always really high. I can always get a little extra essence here and there that I get to sell to guild members. It's a great way to make some money. In dungeons, I know a lot of people run 80 at MIT, or they run around with identification wands and they do it that way. But I don't even have to worry about having a skill. I don't have to change my skills up. I don't have to do anything. I just have to throw it all in my hold, throw it in a pouch, use a shipping crate or a script when I get to a dock, and I get all the stuff, take it home to my recycler, and it's easier. Void actually is a really good armor for Ocean. I find if I'm going up against a demon longship or something where I'm expecting to take a lot of damage, I will actually switch to Void quite often. That heal, and it also gives you that little extra magic resist. So combining that and the heal, a really good way to stay alive if you're on something like Ossuarian or something that's just really casting a ton of magic damage at you. There we go. Alright, so we're already up to a little over 2,000 leather. So I'll try to make sure I drop that off. I'm going to make sure I get a heal in. All that healing needs to be done. Before we drop the bomb, grab all the loot. Over here, start healing whichever crew I can. Get my repairs off. Switch over to water for the extra bump to my healing. Make sure I'm still keeping an eye on my spyglass. So Pierce is up there at the front of the boat. So, once I get the last couple heals off on these guys. There. Well, let's see. Pierce now just healed 30% of his HP with that one heal from my medic. So it just shows how crew healing is just that really nice extra little bit of keeping your crew topped off, considering how much damage they can take. Reload my cannons while we have this downtime. So I need one heal on my ship sails to get them up. So we already have a full stack of gold. And I need 3 potentially to bring my guns up to full, so we're going to get 1 we have going now. Taking this extra weight off. I'm going to start. I guess it's a world saving. So get a second one off now. Between the one currently going on the repair and the one that I'll be able to do before the bomb goes off, we now have enough to get full guns. So there we go. Get the second repair off. Shoot my cannons. That should sink. And we're off to the tradesmanship line here. Switch back to my fortune aspect. Make sure that my guns are on accuracy. Oh, let's do these 2 now. Just drag and drop up. Just so again, just so I have that extra half a second warning before it shoots me, I'm going to go right here to the front. Also, nice and ship the line It's that much bigger. So you'll notice when it turns, it's going to be that much farther away from me. But sometimes I get, yep, there we go. Pretty much got my entire shot off. And it just shot, so we missed a lot of that damage. Not all of it. We did miss a lot of it. Do my icebreaker and powder keg. Yep, see, that was grenades, and I took a ton of damage, even though it looked like I missed it all. I think, honestly, once the grenades ability is active, even if you manage to miss the majority of what looks like the icons, I think it still hits you anyway. Just check them, alright. I have no idea, where are we? We're right in the middle of the ocean. So talking about links, I haven't talked about that yet. So this is my boating chain. A lot of gold's corrupted. I've been doing this a long time, and the majority of my money and majority of my income and time is spent boating, so I have obviously the majority of my money invested back into that. Damage on ships and ship cannon damage, those two are just the basics. Absolutely start there, nothing else. No other chains are going to be more important than those two for boating. Melee damage, ignore armor. Melee damage and ignore armor chance. I use that. If I run the other build I showed at the beginning of the movie, beginning of this video with 120 arms lore, I would probably take those melee damage, armor, ignore, and go to melee special chance, special damage. I think it is because with that 120 arms lore, you get so many more procs of salvo so much faster and so much more often that than it would really be beneficial. Got a nice scroll there. Again, that opening the hold in fortune before switching over always just gives you that nice extra little chance. And we got some veil hide leather, which is always nice. How much should we get? 127 veil hide, just from a tradesman mob. So not too shabby. Just repair all that damage we took from that gosh darn grenades. It's the worst ability to get hit with. And Dreadnought would be really helpful right now because Dreadnought gives you so much more hull HP, but it also gives you a big bonus to the repairing your hull. Carpenters also obviously could do the same thing. So 76. This one will get us to 86%. The next one will get us to 96%. So, in fact, there's some of my crewing over with me. Usually I try and leave my crew behind. Alright. Managed to take off most of the damage. This is going to take 2 bombs. Alright, jump back, drop the bomb, jump back over. And go pay our respects to said fishing cat over here. Are you kidding me? It didn't sink. There we go. That was good. It made me sail all the way back over. Alright, I was worried for a second because I saw the message when I pulled my screen up that said you have worn out your spyglass, so I was worried for a second that I didn't have any spyglass left. Yes, I do. Alright, so fishing ship, you always want to come across it like this, as it has no cannons, it can't shoot you, but the goal is if you line it up perfectly, they won't even be able to target you with their grenades, hopefully. I don't know if that's a bug. If it is, I apologize. Please tell me and I won't do this anymore. But this is pretty common policy. The main way to kill fishing boats is to come across the front of it like this. Just try and keep my crew. The nets are extremely annoying. Trying to stand without borders really helps with fishing boats because I can stand a little further away from my crew and still get heals off on them. How did I fail to board? 88% success chance and I failed. Jesus. Terrible. It's like failing with 95% chance to board and you still fail. It's just one of those infuriating things that occasionally happens. Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in nets, and if you get caught in the net, you don't actually hit with your weapon, and you can't move. So, really annoying ability. And they do it just like, just rapid fire net throwing out. It's a really good way to be stuck for like 3 minutes without being able to attack. Somehow I just close my bus bar. Bring that back up. Yeah, see, we got put in a net there, so that's why we weren't able to attack at all. Let's see, I forgot to open the hull, but either way. One boat's not the end of the world, but you never know. You could miss getting an antiquity, you could miss getting something really nice in the hull from that extra special rare loot chance that you get from Fortune. And we didn't take any damage, so I can just repair again, get this up to a nice 100%. Drop this off, drop that silly axe away. I'm still hitting my spyglass macro periodically because I'm not used to having this new. Alright, are we close to the server line yet? Let's open up my red line here. So I'm only 1.5 million from Wilderness, but honestly, unless I'm doing bosses or Chi maps, I can't seem to stomach farming those Wilderness. I went and farmed like Soul Beasts for like an hour, and I don't think I even saw that number move. Whereas a couple days ago, this was 9 million, or 9.5 million, and I've already gotten it down to just below 7 million. So I just find using Fortune helps with that. Fortune gives you all the extra gold from killing the mobs, gives you extra experience, so when you're leveling your crew, he's already maybe a quarter of the way, 20% of the way through level 8. Spies can be a little bit annoying because they do poison your crew, but long ships aren't bad. They do have more crew on them, which is dangerous if it's like a demon ship, but they don't have as much cannons, so they don't do as much damage to you. I might be able to get the board off. Let's see. Yep. Make sure we're back in the right. Alright. Just try and bandage, keep the poisons off as much as possible. So if paying attention, I can't see any other boats on this one, but obviously before we boarded, if you go back, I saw 3 boats. The one that we're on right now, and there was 2 other NPC boats that I was able to see. And just that extra spyglass, it's just so good. at being able to keep an eye on what's around you. Alright, I've killed all of the spies, so I can't take any more poison damage, but let's try and make sure before I send my crew over, even if I manage to kill this explorer captain. That was annoying. Always seems to happen that way, is you get the proc on the last mob, and now for 30 seconds I can't switch my aspects, so... Let's see, I'm just going to heal, repair off on my hull quickly while I wait to be able to switch over. So 8 more seconds, so not too bad. Yep, see boom there. Now I see 3 boats. I wish... when you boarded an NPC boat, it would be so beautiful if you kept your spyglass from your boat and didn't have to suffer the penalty of having its spyglass range instead of your own. Just be nice to always be able to see what's going on around you. C'est la vie. Some more leather. Looks like we got some 63 golden hide in there. Nice, nice. Look at that. Come back over, just repair my guns because I can. And now I see 3 boats again. Southeast, that's a good direction to be going right now. I usually just try and farm and kind of like, head in one direction, south, southeast, north, whatever direction it is, and just kind of cross Big Blue, cross Old Blue. If I'm doing Old Blue, sometimes I'll go along the coast just because it's nice to always have those dockmasters in some range if you need them. Here. Oops. Try and take out the spies first. Back away. Oh, I was targeting its guns. Which was a mistake on my part. And I also forgot to reload my cannons. Another rookie mistake there. Not the end of the world, but just good in the good day in the habit of just, if you script it or something, just always doing something like that. Always repairing your, always reloading your cannons when you board your boat after every fight. Make sure I go back into Fortune Armor for the XP, the damage, and the loot. And then one more shot here, and we'll be able to board this. Yes, that's when we want the procs. We want the procs early, so that we get the damage and the crew killed, not late when we have to sit out the timer. World Series always managed to screw up the items. Ooh, oh, darn. Always gets my hopes up. I always think that's Averhide. And I always get really excited, and then it's like, no, you just got Shadowhide, which, again, still better than nothing, but it's always a sweet feeling when you pull the Averhide. Right, I'm going to repair a few times. So yeah, I mean, I waste a lot of boarding ropes doing this way, but I just like to be able to keep my boat kind of topped off a little bit. As you saw, there's 2 boats that we did run into. Less people seem to want to fight, more people are just happy to farm, which is my usual methodology. I'd rather just be farming. Drop these guys off in here. Get one more repair off. Just keep dumping all the extra loots that we can. Everything I dump in here is one less thing I'm actually carrying on my character. And at the end of the day, when I get to my house and I just dump it all in my magic item recycler anyway, so. Cores, things of actual value, I try and keep on myself. Magic items just take up a lot of weight. And now the nice thing is, as we start doing our run, the more bombs you drop, the less you weigh as well. So far this run, pretty good run. Let me reopen that, sorry. 222,000 dubs in my hold. I have some more here piled up on my deck. And 3 crew, which, I'd love to have seen a little bit more crew, but it is what it is. Alright, come to the front. Now I've gotten almost my entire bone shot off before it turned, which means that I didn't take as much damage. But now I gotta actually run over here, tap it so it stops moving. Yeah, that's a problem. If you're a slow galley like me and you have it moving, some boats actually are faster than I am, and I can't catch them, which is kind of sad and pathetic to say, but it is the reality of the situation. Alright, so with 3 cannon shots, I might actually be able to get that. There we go, got the board off. Try and just start looting while I'm going through. Come on. There we go. And this last sailor won't take too long. Go, open that. Just to see. Haven't taken much damage, so guns, or I'm just gonna try guns. Usually I'll go with hull, but if I need to, I have my. So I always try and keep my combat heal up. I try and use that as sparingly as possible, just because you don't want to use it and then need it when you don't have it. Usually I don't move my dub stacks around too much. Kind of a reward for anyone if they do decide to kill me and try and loot me is they've got to spend half an hour clicking on all my dub stacks. So that's their punishment for attacking and killing the Puggles. I had a spyglass or something. Great, no more spyglasses. So yeah. Well, that's a lesson, because I took about 4 with me, so running that continuous spyglass is definitely going to be a dangerous thing to do, but we're actually pretty close down to the server line, so we're going to head in and go to a dock. I have my coordinates and everything. Not my coordinates, but I have my, usually I have dock master blips for places that I need to go to. I turn them off because I don't want to give away any of our guild's locations just for precaution. But as I was saying, Ocean is fantastic for leveling aspect. As you see here, tier 15 Air, Blood, and Fortune. Arcane Artisan's only tier 8, but if I want to level that up, I can just throw it on my weapon and it'll be leveling up really quickly. Command, all these things, 10 or plus. Gadget, Harvest, Lightning, again I reduce that because I don't want to proc as much, but I do want to get some Lightning experience because it's such a good aspect right now. Fortune, I have to buy some more cores and keep leveling that up, or sorry, Frost. And then, everything else. So most of this, Gadget, I leveled, I think, from 0 to 10 without ever dropping a trap. I was getting the innovation procs on my weapon, but I didn't really care because I was leveling the aspect that I wanted to level. It didn't do any extra damage, it didn't help my clear speed at all, but I was able to really level that pretty quickly without much of an issue. Alright, where are we on the map? And am I close to where I'm meant to go? Alright, this is what happens when you vote a lot. You pretty much pinpoint the exact moment and space where you want to go. Alright, so I'm doing shaking my boat because of the item glitches. So now I'm actually able to put items on and move this gold, whereas if I had just turned my boat without doing anything, I would not actually be able to move this. And just for the sake of the video, we are going to show what a full run is in entirety. I'm dropping this up on our hatch, and now I can actually get my repair off. Close that. Alright, so 86 out of 100, 200 items. See, it's not that bad. You can just keep farming. I remember back in the good old days, Pirate Lord Zoldy and a few other people in GG would do marathons where they'd try and see how many dubs they could farm in one run without ever docking. Like they'd suicide over, go get a new loadout and keep farming. I don't remember what the record was, but I remember hearing someone got up to, I think, around 1.5 million dubs or something without docking. They finally, like 12 crew or something, they finally were like, I better just dock this. Alright, so let's see, we've gotten all this leather. 1100 leather, 195 rose and rose hide. So again, not bad for 253k dubs and 3 crew in one little run. So I'm going to click on this little lady over here, dock my ship. I could use shipping crates, but I don't know why. I hate shipping crates. And I'm going to run my gold macro. Alright, that's going to drop all my gold in the bank vault that's I can't see because of all this Japanese topiary here. But either way, I'm going to end the video there. I hope you've learned something. I hope maybe some of my techniques or anything I do is of information or use to you. I am an open book. I am happy to share. I am banned from Outlands Discord, unfortunately. Hopefully, if I make good videos and I'm a good boy, I might get a chance to get unbanned one of these days. Little disagreement between me and some of the other voters at one point in life. But anyway, no hard feeling. Everyone on the water is fantastic and voting is great. But you can, if you need to, find me on JSON's Discord or on Pwnstar's Discord under Puggles if you have questions or any feedback. Hopefully positive feedback or constructive. I would appreciate any information. You're welcome to drop me a line anytime you need. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope this helped. Take care.